Today we're going south and we're on one of those posh new trains that we saw yesterday. We're going down the main line almost to the end, where we're going to catch a ferry over to Sicily. When we went some time ago and stayed in Catania, I travelled up the coast to Taormina, but deliberately left Messina right at the top end until this trip, in the vague hope that I might make it there. You can see the temperature inside there. The temperature outside is 16 and the time, as you can see, is 9:05 AM. We'll be going through Scylla of Scylla and Charybdis fame, and there is the castle at Scylla, which we'll see more of later, hopefully. For the ferry we don't go right down to Reggio, but we get off at San Giovanni. It took me some time to realise that this land, which appeared just off the coast, was actually Sicily. There are two separate terminals at San Giovanni, and I wasn't quite sure which one to get on because they go to different parts in Sicily. I was hoping to follow the crowd, but there didn't seem to be one, neither did there seem to be any notices. So there was a little confusion, but eventually I settled on whichever one I got on, which seemed perfectly satisfactory. Now these narrow straits here, and at the top we've got Scylla and Charybdis, were that narrow stretch of water which the Germans left Sicily by. Why we didn't stop them, I'm not sure. And of course that's the way the Allies came back over into Italy. And that presumably is Messina just over there. This is still San Giovanni here. After the hassle of not knowing which ferry to get on and quite where we were going to land in Sicily, it turned out that we landed just about at the terminus of a new tram line which ran from there into the town. After landing in Messina, I asked one of the local men what the situation was, and it took me some time to realise that he was answering me in English with an Australian accent because he'd lived there 18 years. I thought for a minute I could speak Italian. Besides seeing Messina as such, the focal point of the visit will be the local cathedral. This turned out to me to be a pleasant surprise, and in fact this whole trip today may turn out to be one of those that is better than one expected.
So there's the street into Michael, Scylla and Charybdis.
In case you didn't get that, because of the sound of the engine is saying that Scylla and Charybdis are up there. Right, ready to go now. Now I seem to remember some sort of confusion about where I should get off this thing, but after that things looked up. We'll see shortly the tram by which I could have got into the centre of Messina, but in the end I decided I might prefer to walk and take in the view more gradually.
Right, I think we're getting towards the city centre now.
On reflection, with hindsight, it appears that had I taken the other ferry it would have dropped me in the centre of town, but and that's the one I went back on, but I'm quite glad I took this one because it gave me a chance to see, that's the one I could have come on, gave me a chance to see more of Messina. From here I was looking out for various domes and towers which may be the cathedral, but in the end I asked a local gentleman who conducted me to the end of the street and pointed it out. It's a typical Italian gesture. And there it is. Looking at it shortly from the West End, I was struck by its similarity to all those cathedrals we saw in Puglia, although I shouldn't have been surprised. It did seem much better preserved and more richly decorated than any of those. How much of this is Las Vegas type restoration, I'm not sure. Anyway, I enjoyed the whole thing, and not only that, but I was lucky enough to find that the organist was inside practicing. So for the next 3 hours or so it's going to be organ music, and then when I came out there was another performance which I found quite nice, as you will see. So walk with me now around the inside of the cathedral.